Hi everyone, this is Allison Mangles, Product Sales Manager with Girl Scouts of Connecticut. We are doing a webinar today for our Service Unit QSP Managers. This is not the original webinar that we went through during our training during our training period, but we did want to put one up for you guys as a reference as you get to put together your packets and start training your troops during the month of September, and also as a reference for you as we go through the QSP program. So we are going to talk about several different things today. First, just want to draw your attention to the cute little koala here on our screen. That's Kayla, and you'll see her throughout the program. Our theme for the 2016 QSP program is Be Brilliant, Shine On, and Explore Something Different. So if this is your very first time listening to this broadcast, welcome. If you're reviewing it again, welcome back, and we'll get started with our agenda. We're going to be going through first the topics that you need as a Service Unit QSP Manager. So these are just the things that are specific to you in your role. So we'll talk about a little bit about last year's program just to give you some facts and figures, because I know you're product salespeople, so you like some data. Your role as the Service Unit QSP Manager, some dates and information about the materials that you received, a very brief review of the processing of paperwork, and some notes on delivery. The second part of the training is actually the troop version of the PowerPoint for you to show all of your troop QSP managers and leaders during your service unit training presentation. So that's where we'll really get into more detail about the actual program. You'll see all of the slides that are available to you to show the day of the training, and we'll give you a little bit more information on each of those slides so that you can confidently present them at your own training. Here's a couple notes on our 2015 QSP program. As you'll see, we had over 81,000 nut and candy items that the girls sold in Connecticut. That's a combination of items that were sold online and also on the order card. And for all of you, I know you did this last year, so I'm sure you remember your living room or garage filled with lots and lots of these items. And yes, that actually is an increase from the year before. We had over 15,000 magazine subscriptions come in, over 2,700 address booklets. The online program is picking up some speed here on the nut and candy aspect. We were in our second year of the nut and candy store being available online for customers to order and then have product directly shipped, and that accounted for 9% of our total sales. New last year, we had a My Creation Avatar patch. It was a giraffe that girls could design within the online program, and then they were actually able to earn that patch based on their sales. And we had over 572 girls earn that unique patch for having over at least $150 in online sales alone. So a really great job to those girls. And probably most importantly of all on this slide, we had our troops earned over $118,000 in proceeds. So that's really why we are doing this program, so that the girls can learn some great new skills, but also so they can set a goal, reach it, and then have some funds available to participate in Girl Scouting activities for the rest of the year. The QSP program is nice because with the timing, the girls have their money right up front, and $118,000 is a lot of money that our troops were able to spend on activities, projects, adventures, everything that they were doing last year. So awesome job to all the girls. A job well done to several of our service units who saw an increase in their QSP sales from 2014 to 2015. I'm not going to read all of these, but bravo if you're on here, and if maybe you missed this a little bit last year. We're going to talk to you a little bit more about marketing and some ways to present the QSP program that I think your leaders will like, your troop QSP managers as well. And when they explain to the girls and their families, I think they'll be ready to embrace the program and have some great sales as we move forward. These are our top sellers on the online store and on the order card as far as nuts and candy are concerned. So not a whole lot of surprise here. Lots of chocolate in Connecticut. We definitely like our chocolate. On the order card, our peanut butter bears were at #1, and online the deluxe pecan clusters took that top spot, and you guys can check out some of the other items that are on here. Of all of these, everything is available on both the order card and online, with the exception of the Almond Cran Orange Crunch, which is just available online. So we'll take a look and see how that does online again this year, or maybe think about bringing it over to the order card. But I think when you guys see the order card for this year, you'll like the selection. We made a couple of changes to it that I think everybody will enjoy. And some notes on our top-selling magazines from last year as well. People took the very top spot there. And I know you guys have all done this before again, so you know that's a nice subscription to have, because there's a couple different levels there, and if a girl can get a People magazine subscription, she's already kind of high up there in her recognitions and earning some good proceeds for her troop. Then we had Cooking Light, Good Housekeeping, Women's Day, Real Simple, and National Geographic Kids. We actually have a lot of children's magazines available and that are also in the top selling list. Inside of the girls' packets, there is a top 50 magazine sort of quick pick for any customers who are looking to quickly select a magazine. Maybe they don't have the time to flip through the whole catalog, but there is that quick pick slip inside of the girls' packets where all of these top 6 plus the other most popular magazines are based. So really a nice tool for the girls and for you guys if you're looking to order a magazine. I just want to give a shout out to Lisa Deschnow in our North Haven office who found all of the graphics and put together most of this training. So there's lots of fun koala graphics throughout here, and this one is one of my favorites. So once you guys are done listening to this training today, you will definitely be qualified as Service Unit QSP Manager. So here's a list of some of your responsibilities. Inside the folder that you all received via mail are actually some other top tips with some different items for you to do and refer to during the program, but we're going to briefly go through the ones that are listed here on the screen. Our first bullet here is to hold a QSP training for the troops in your service unit, and hand out those materials. We've got another slide on that coming up, but most importantly, if you're listening to this now, I know it's a couple days after our training has finished at least, so please, if you haven't already reached out to your service unit manager, make sure that you've got a date for your training and that you've got a time and you can communicate it out to all of your QSP managers for your troops. We ask you to be a support to volunteers throughout the QSP program and to be enthusiastic about all the components of the program. We're going to talk more in-depthly about each of those components when we get into the troop training of the presentation, but I do ask that even if perhaps your Girl Scout, if you have one who's participating in the program, maybe if she doesn't participate in every aspect of it, we do ask that you present on all the different parts of the program and let the girls and their families decide how they'd like to participate. Communication is really key when it comes to this program. We're going to go over the dates in a little bit, but we've got a short period of time for the girls to set and reach their goals, and we know that communicating with troop QSP managers and with the product sales team will really help to make sure that everything goes smoothly. On the product sales side of things, you'll be getting a weekly email at least from your product sales manager, so please look out for that. We generally try to send them at the end of the week, although I'll be honest, sometimes mine doesn't get out until like Sunday afternoon, but we try to get it to you guys at least once a week just to keep us all on track and give you any updates as they come along. Or any sort of last-minute or just breaking new information that you guys need to know. As far as communicating with the troops in your service unit, it's up to you how you would like to do that. You can use your personal email address to communicate. If your service unit has an email that they use, that's fine as well. You can also communicate with your troops through Rallyhood, and there's a function in the Nutty program to send out emails to every troop leader and troop QSP manager who's listed in the system. So whichever way works best for you as far as electronic communication is fine. You can also make phone calls. What I would say, though, is that you let your troops know how you are going to be communicating with them and how you would like them to communicate with you. So if you're someone who prefers to communicate via email and you know that you don't generally get to respond to your emails until, let's say, 8 p.m. in the evening, just let your troop volunteers know that so that they know when and how to reach out to you. And so if they send you an email at 10 o'clock in the morning, they should know that they're not going to get a response until later in the day. And that's perfectly fine. Sometimes people just like to know when they should expect to hear back from you on something. Of course, you can contact us on the product sales team at any time with any questions or concerns via phone or email. If you need to meet about anything in person, just let us know. We're happy to set something up with you. Definitely reach out as many times as you would like to. We are absolutely looking to support you guys. And if you're listening to this and haven't had your training just yet, we're also happy to come out to your training and work with you on that aspect of the program as well. Our next bullet here is to collect and organize your final troop paperwork and review the nutty entries. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, and on that same top tip sheet that is in your folder that earlier, on the back of that actually has all of your processing instructions. So we don't need to really worry about all of that until November, but we are going to review it just briefly on this presentation today so that you'll have some idea as to what you'll be looking at. You'll be submitting your paperwork to your product sales manager, mailing out materials to QSP, and also taking care of the delivery of both the nut and candy items and the recognitions, and then distributing them out to the troop QSP manager so they can get those out to their girls. You can be brilliant and help your service unit shine on. You know that goal setting is one of the 5 skills that girls learn in by participating in product sales programs, but also good for service units as well. Inside of the folder that you received in your packet, you do have a goal sheet for your service unit. This tracks your last 3 years, so 2013, 2014, and 2015 of the sales within your service unit. This is to see, so that you can see where your service unit has sort of gone, what the direction is on there. You can look at the number of troops that you've had, the number of girls, and see, you know, do we have less troops participating? Do we have more girls? Where do we have room for growth? I can tell you that the majority of you guys have some growth for participation in the online program. The best way for you to see that is if you look at the number of girls who sent 12 or more emails. That's the number of girls who earned the online patch last year. That's really the best way for girls to be engaged in the program, and kind of our best measure at this point to see how many girls are really participating in that part of the program. So if you are looking for more information on the online program or how to perhaps explain it more to your troops, just hold on. We're going to talk about that in the troop presentation part of this PowerPoint, but I just know from looking briefly through all of them that that's where we have a lot of growth. You'll also know if you guys remember from last year, we had sort of set the goal sheets up, paper sales and online sales sort of separately. This year we've put them together, magazines and photo keepsake sales, and then nut and candy sales, both the online and the paper together. We did that because truly it's really up to the girls how they would like to participate, and if they want to sell all their magazines in person, that's perfectly fine. If you know you have a service unit who maybe most of you girls sold their magazines online instead, that's fine. A magazine subscription is a magazine subscription. So we just wanted to give you guys a clear view of exactly what was happening in your service unit. If you want more information, that's just a very small piece of a very large spreadsheet. We're happy to give you some more detailed information. Just let your product sales manager know that you're looking for it. We do encourage you to share this information with your service unit, and also encourage your troops and your girls to set goals in QSP. In the troop guides that you all have for QSP, there is a section on troop training for the girls, for the QSP managers to facilitate with their girls, and there is a nice goal setting piece there. I do want to draw your attention though, you'll see that the very first number, dollar amount on the top of your form is the same as the very bottom one, and that's because our goal this year is to have the same amount of sales, the same amount of proceeds and everything as we did in last year in 2015. So whatever you guys did last year, we're looking for you to help us do that this year as well. Here are some important dates for you. Nothing surprising, looks very similar to last year's dates. We're doing our training right now, and you guys will be holding a training in September. We do encourage you to hold it earlier in September just so the troop QSP managers have enough time to get the packets out to their girls, but I know the calendar can be a little bit wacky. So when you can hold it anytime in September as long as it works for your service unit, but just know that if it's at the very end of the month, to encourage those troop leaders and QSP managers to get that information out to the girls as soon as they can. Order taking will begin on October 1st and then November 1st, so pretty easy to remember. The troop deadline for getting everything to you and completing their nutty entries is the 7th of November, and then your big day is November 11th. So that's when you'll be submitting everything to your product sales manager. You'll have finished up all your nutty entries, and you'll be sending the paperwork that's necessary right to QSP. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. November 30th to December 3rd is when we are going to be having our nut and candy deliveries. Your product sales manager will be contacting you to confirm the location and the date of your delivery. So just watch out for an email or phone call about that, and just please respond to us so that we can get that information to our volunteer who handles everything with the delivery agent. We'll know the timing of your delivery when we get a little bit closer, but the agent does not route the trucks until after all of the orders are placed, so we know how much product each service unit needs, which service units are going on what van or truck, and then they'll be able to decide based on geography the order of the deliveries and what time of day that they'll be. So for now, we just want to make sure that we have product going to the correct place and that you can make it on the day that we've assigned to the service unit. If you need to change your date, please let us know. The delivery agent is pretty flexible, but we just want to make sure that we have those changes in early enough so that we can get them onto the spreadsheet and everything is correct. The recognitions for the girls will be coming in the end of December, beginning of January, and we'll be working on getting those either out to you directly or coming from the council office and getting those to you, but we'll talk about that in the next couple of slides. These are the materials that everyone should have received by now. They were sent to your house, everything in this first column here, which are all of your girl and troop materials, the guides, the newsletters, posters, envelopes, and the actual girl package with all the sales information in them. Inside of your folder, you have the magazine forms, those yellow forms from 2015. Those are for you to give back to those troops so the girls can recontact those customers and ask for renewals. Your goal sheet, which we went over a couple slides ago. You have a sample address booklet mailing. We'll talk about address booklets in a little bit more detail later on, but we just want to let you know what the customer will see if they are indeed, if the girl does indeed fill out a coupon with their information on it, this is what they'll actually receive in the mail from QSP. You have your manager tips and processing instructions. Again, that's on the legal piece of paper. It's printed in color. It's a front and back piece. You've got your UPS label, your mailing envelope, and your summary form. That's what you'll need to send everything out to QSP on November 11th. And you also have your troop recognition order forms. These are one per service unit, one per troop, and the troop recognition this year is, again, a t-shirt, and we've got some cute koala shirts we'll show you in a little bit. So that's the one troop piece that's in your folder. The rest of it is service unit level materials. And then it says up here before you leave, but from your product sales manager, you should have made arrangements to pick up your product samples and your sample recognition. We also have some deposit slips available if you are looking for them. If you haven't gotten your sample bag yet, please contact your product sales manager so that we can make sure that you have it for the training for your troop, for all your troops. So a couple notes on preparing and hosting your troop training. I know that everyone listening to this is experienced, so you've done this before, but please just make sure if you haven't already that you do contact your service unit manager, set up that time, and then contact your troop QSP managers. It's really important that the volunteers who are actually handling the QSP program for the troop are the ones who are attending the training. So the more the merrier. Troop leaders are welcome too, but if they're not actually handling the training, we want to make sure that the date is passed on to the correct person. Nutty will be going live on October 1st, so you can log in and verify everything there, but it's a good idea to sort of pass around the sign-in sheet, get everyone's information at your training so that you can compare it to what's in Nutty once we're ready to go live. You'll host your training and show the PowerPoint if you can. Like I said, really the majority of this presentation, we're going to go over the whole thing today, is the troop training section of things. So if your community center or church hall where you host your training has a PowerPoint and projector that you can use, that's awesome. If not, please contact your product sales manager and we will try to bring the laptop and projector out to you so that you can use the troop training. The training will be available that last weekend in August / first week in September. So that will be up on our website, and we'll be sending out a link to all of you so that you can access it. And you can download it, save it to your laptop if you don't have internet access at your training location, or you can just run it right off the web if you do actually have Wi-Fi or an internet connection at your site. We do encourage you to bring out those samples of both the recognition items and the nut and candy products. Let the troop QSP managers taste them. There definitely is something for everyone there to try. We do have a couple new products that everyone will probably want to get their hands on. You have most of the recognition items. When we get to that slide, I'll tell you exactly which ones you've got. And then finally, please be a cheerleader for the program and encourage participation. We really would love for every troop to take materials, distribute them out to the girls and their families, give them some information on the QSP program, and let the girls and their families decide how best they can participate and support the troop in this program. So participation is definitely key, and if the girls don't have the materials, then obviously they can't participate. So really encourage those troops to take those items and bring them back to their girls. So we talked about holding a training, we're going to talk about processing, but the middle part is actually really important as well. So definitely communication, like we said, is key by troops, email to the troops by email, excuse me, through Nutty, however you'd like to communicate. After October 1st, there will still be troops registering in your service unit. Maybe they're brand new troops, maybe they are troops who were just a little late getting their registrations in. Whatever the reason, they can still participate in, in the QSP program. We do go all the way through November 1st, so please keep in contact with your service unit registrar so that you can get updates on which troops need materials and training to get started in the program if they kind of missed out on your September date. And then please support all the volunteers. You can refer them to the print materials. That's mostly the product, the QSP program guide, but there's also going to be a selection of materials online. I just want to point out that we will have several one-page PDF documents on a variety of different topics. So if a troop QSP manager is looking for information just on one topic and maybe doesn't want to flip all the way through the book, or needs some more information, specific information, a little bit more detailed on a particular topic, she can go and check out one of those sheets. So for example, we have one on the SHARE program, one on nut and candy delivery, one all about safety, one about just the different ways to participate, one on the 5 skills. So lots of different resources for them as far as those electronic materials. We'll also have some videos up by mid-September for both volunteers and for parent guardians as well, mostly focused on the online program, but some other videos as well. So please keep a lookout on the website. We'll also be sending you guys these the links for them as soon as they're posted. We're working with our communications team right now to get the website updated for 2016. We just had a couple final changes that we needed to make, but by the time some of you might be listening to this webinar, they might already be updated. But as of August 27th, when I'm recording this, we're still working on a few tweaks, and they should be up in just a few days. Some notes on processing the paperwork for your service unit. Most importantly here is that we want to make sure that you follow up with every troop at the end of the program who took materials from you. Yes, we can process some late paperwork, but it's definitely best for you guys and for the girls if we can get all their paperwork in on time. We can get their nut and candy order in. We can get those magazine slips in with everybody else. It just helps to make everything run a little bit more smoothly. So please do collect materials from all your troops. Follow up with everyone, via email or a phone call to make sure you have everything. You'll be going through your address booklets and catalog slips for completeness and making sure we've got actual addresses, comparing the paper slips and the address booklets with the numbers that the troop entered into Nutty, and then completing your summary form once you're confident that everything matches, and mailing in those address booklets in white magazine and photo keepsake slips to QSP. We do have the instructions in your folder as far as what has to go to QSP and what needs to come to us and the product sales team. We'll most definitely be sending out more communications about this when we get closer to wrapping up the program at the end of October, and beginning of November, so that you'll know exactly what you need to submit and when and where will be available to get that paperwork from you. So that's the list. Most importantly on this slide is actually that little picture where it says keep calm. I know some of you have big service units and you probably have a fair amount of magazine slips, but please just get through, what you can. If you need to follow up for some missing addresses and people, most of the time we'll get back to you. But if you have anyone that hasn't, just make a note and we'll follow up on the product sales team just to make sure everything is all set. What we'll need back from you, though, are the yellow copies of anything that you submit to QSP as far as the magazine and photo keepsake slips, the online payment confirmations, and the troop recognition forms. That's all due to us by November 11th. We do not need any reports from Nutty. We can see absolutely everything in Nutty that you could ever possibly want to see. So let's try to save some trees and not print those out, because we can just see everything that we need right online. And if we feel the need to print something, we will. But it's really just those three categories of things: the magazine slips, the payment confirmations, and the troop recognition forms that we need. Some of you might be looking at this and saying, what about those online sales reports? And we actually don't need those this year because of some updates that we've made at Nutty and in the QSP online program. So less paperwork for our troops to hand in, less paperwork for you guys to review, so everything is good. Definitely keep calm and love koalas, and it will be a great program, I promise you. Some notes on delivery for you. Again, between November 30th and December 3rd is when your product will be coming in. The product can be delivered to you. If you're not able to take it, maybe you're traveling for work on that day, another volunteer in the service unit can go ahead and take that product, or we can take it at one of our council service centers. So Wilton, Hartford, Waterbury, or North Haven, we can take or Lebanon, excuse me, we can take delivery at any of those service centers. So just let us know if that works for you, and then you can come and pick up the product when it is convenient. You do need to be, you or whoever's taking the delivery does need to be home at the time of the delivery, because we need you to count the product, and it needs to go inside, not be left outside for the squirrels. So we've been working with Myers, our delivery agent, for several years now. They know that they need to separate out the product by variety for you and count it out and get a signature before their employee leaves your home or business, wherever it's being stored. We ask that you sort out the product by troop before your troops actually come pick up, so that you make sure that you have everything in the right place, and then make arrangements with your troops to come pick up. When they come to pick up, so that would be an adult from the troop, when they come to get that product, we ask that you count with them as well, so that everybody is happy with what they are actually picking up, and they should sign, you should get a signature that that product is being picked up. The easiest way to do that is by printing out the T2 report in Nutty that you can have them sign. If you need us to format like a spreadsheet for you to take signatures on, just let your product sales manager know. We're happy to do that and send it to you. We do ask that you retain those delivery slips for your records, and please, please, please be careful where you're actually putting the product. When possible, please store it off the floor, and then always away from heat sources, because we've got a lot of chocolate there, and away from your pets and other creatures. So if it's inside, try to keep it away from your dog. If it's in your garage, let's hope we don't have any mice or squirrels or other woodland creatures that get into there and then get into the product. So if we can just be careful with the product and make sure that our girls are really getting stuff in nice condition to bring out to their customers, that would be very, very helpful. If by chance you realize that you are short something at the delivery, the delivery agent is missing something, or one of your cans or is dented or something like that, we can replace that product. You can just sign the ticket short, but please let your product sales manager know that you are in need of whatever it is that you're missing or is damaged, so that we can work quickly to get that out to you, and you can fill the troop order and they can get it out to the girls. Again, this is not happening until the end of November, beginning of December, and we will definitely be in communication with you guys about all of this when we get closer to those dates. For your troop recognitions, these will be coming in after the nut and candies arrive, most likely the end of December and beginning of January. They are coming from a couple different sources. Most of them are coming directly from QSP. Your t-shirts are coming from Mr. D's Tees, and then 3 items: the large sunglasses mirror, the sequin tote bag, and the sleep mask will be coming directly to the council office, and we'll be sorting those out and then working with you and your membership managers to get those to you. So please don't panic when you get your first delivery. The first one will probably come from QSP, and it's not going to have everything in it. So just give us 1 second, and we'll definitely get everything out to you as soon as we can. And then once you have it, again, like the product, you'll separate it out by troop, and then you can either bring it to a service unit meeting, or they can pick it up from you at your home, whatever works for you. I should just back up for a second when we were talking about November 7th being the date for the service units handing in paperwork. We just ask that you let your troop QSP managers know where and when to drop that off to you. So whether they are meeting you at your home, or you have a service unit meeting that night, or you're going to be in your town's library from 6 to 8 p.m. collecting paperwork, just let them know what time and where, so we can make sure that everything gets to you when you actually need it. So definitely something to communicate with your troop QSP managers. That is all the information for you guys as far as your role as a service unit QSP manager. So we're going to jump into the Troop QSP Manager training, so you can take a look at all the slides and get some information about how to present it. This is the first slide here, and so you'll see that it looks very familiar to yours. We've got Caleb the koala up there, as well as the theme, so definitely something to point out there to your Troop QSP managers and leaders who are in the room. Their agenda is just the basics of the QSP program, some dates, and then we'll be talking about the components of the program, some updates to the online store, recognitions, nutty, finalizing the sale, and delivery. So pretty much from A to Z, exactly what the QSP program is. Just a reminder that most of you are going to have some experienced volunteers in the room and some very new volunteers. So you guys know your service units a little better than we do and who's in the room, so there might be some slides that you spend a little bit more time on if that's something that is necessary in your service unit. If you've got a lot of new people, you might want to meet with them separately if there's other questions, after the training or things like that. But this is the basic information that we would like you to present, and you can tailor it as needed for your troops. We want to make sure that those new troops, or maybe troops who were new last year but weren't up and running in time to participate in QSP, that they actually know what this program is all about. So QSP stands for Quick, Simple, and Profitable. It's one of 2 council product sales, and an important part of the Girl Scout leadership experience and the Girl Scout year. It's definitely something that we would love all of our troops to participate in, as it is just part of the year and what our Girl Scouts in Connecticut do. We would like the girls and their families to decide how they would like to participate, and we're going to go over all those different options. So we don't want the QSP program to necessarily be the same for every single girl. She's got a lot of different ways to participate, and she can absolutely pick and choose the ones that she likes, and the family can decide how they'd like to support her in that program. The troops do earn proceeds for participating, and of course the girls earn fund recognitions based on their total sales. The dates for the troops are exactly the same ones that you had in your presentation, with the exception of that November 11th date, which is your deadline. So as far as the troop QSP managers are concerned, November 7th is what they are looking to hit as far as getting everything completed in Nutty and the paperwork into you. But we do definitely want to present the information to them about the order taking schedule, as well as their nut and candy delivery and their recognitions. This is a time where you can let them know exactly what the date is that your service unit is getting their nuts and candy, and that way they can mark it down. It's a little generic here because this is for the whole council, but obviously you'll have your one date, and so that's what you can share with your service unit, troops in your service unit. We will, again, we'll have that time for your delivery once we get a little bit closer, so you can give them some better information about pickup as well on that day. So the QSP program, why is it important for girls in our troops? Well, we know in product sales that we're always talking about the 5 important skills, right, that girls learn when they participate. These are goal setting, money management, decision making, business ethics, and people skills. Definitely in QSP, lots of focus on the goal setting. Money management is a little bit different here, and I think it's helpful for the girls because it's a little bit different from the cookie program, where the money for QSP is collected up front. So girls are both taking orders and collecting payment at the same time. So a little different, a little bit of multitasking going on for them. In the decision making, they'll decide how they want to spend their money and their proceeds. And business ethics and people skills are really how they work with their customers and how they work together as a troop to be successful in the program. Girls have the opportunity to earn those proceeds and decide how their funds are spent, like we just said. And again, this is a nice number we showed you guys in your presentation, but to let the troops know that in 2015, girls girls earned over $118,000 through this program that funded all kinds of activities that happened, starting early on in the year and throughout. So definitely a nice number to share. And then just a quick note, I know because it's an election year and we'll have a lot of troops looking to hold, hopefully, Election Day booth sales, that one of the requirements to hold an Election Day booth sale is to participate in the QSP program. So kind of a little bit of a reward for troops to participate in QSP, can also hold that Election Day booth sale in November. I would encourage you guys as service unit QSP managers to work with closely with whoever is working on the Election Day booth sales for your town, just so you have an idea of who has signed up, and you can make sure that they've picked up their QSP materials as well. Troop proceeds are the same from last year, so no surprises here for any of your returning troops. Girls will earn 15% of the total sales on nuts, candy, magazines, and photo keepsake sales for their troop, and $2 for each completed address booklet. And again, girls who are older, that's juniors and above, may opt to earn an additional 2% in proceeds in place of the girls earning their recognitions. They'll still earn their patches, they just won't earn the actual items that are offered in the program, since they'll be getting additional proceeds. And that can be selected in Nutty. It's best to do this before the girl orders are entered, so you can encourage your troop QSP managers to have that conversation with their girls, and they can select that in Nutty beginning on October 1st when the program opens up. Some good notes on safety. We do ask that you review these with your troops. Most importantly, we just want to make sure that when girls are participating in the QSP program, and really in any product sales program, that they're being supervised by an adult. That's whether they are selling in person, like door-to-door type of sales, or if they're selling on the internet. I know that lots of girls are online these days, which is great, and they have a whole new world out there to connect with, but we want to make sure that they're staying safe when they're doing that as well. There is a section on safety inside of the QSP program guide, and we do also ask there that troop QSP managers take a look at volunteer essentials and the troop, and the safety activity checkpoints with their troop before they start participating in the program. We want the girls to have a lot of fun and earn their recognitions and their proceeds, but definitely to be safe while they're doing it as well. So once we've reviewed safety, all of our important dates, then the girls are ready to participate in the program. And there are multiple options for troops and for the girls to participate. So we're going to review about magazines, nuts and candy, and the To Remember This photo keepsake items. Magazines are really the main part of the program here in Connecticut. We definitely, girls definitely earn more proceeds, or percentage of their proceeds earned on magazines than they do on, all the nuts and candy sales. So the proceeds themselves are 15% on each sale, but of course a magazine subscription costs a little bit more than, a can of nuts or a box of candy. So magazines are still kind of the bulk of our sale, but our nut and candy sales are definitely growing here in Connecticut. There's hundreds of magazines for customers to choose from, and really the takeaway here is that most magazine subscribers buy directly from the publisher simply because they don't know that they can get magazines at a great value from Girl Scouts, and that they haven't been asked by a Girl Scout for their support. So, anytime girls are reaching out, thinking about what customers to contact, they can think outside the box a little bit, and most people do, most families at least, do receive magazines. So whether those are print magazines or digital magazines, we have tons of both available for the girls to sell and offer to their customers. Photo keepsakes from To Remember This are in their third year as part of the QSP program. The actual booklet for To Remember This is pictured here, and that brochure is going to be inside of the magazine catalog this year. So it's not sort of a separate piece inside of the Girl Pack, inside of the catalog, which I think will make it easier for girls to present these options to their customers. The keepsake items are everything from posters, books, address labels, stickers, anything that you can put a picture on, they can pretty much produce. There are holiday cards and calendars available online, and then all the other products are available both online and in the brochure as well. Lots of nut and candy items to choose from. We have 16 items on the order card and actually 31 different choices available online. So large variety, lots of different items for lots of different tastes. We do, tend to let people know that just, because of the delivery, that these really make a good gift for the holidays or as a thank you for anyone. If customers are ordering in the online program, they'll receive their items sort of throughout the month of October, depending on when they ordered them. And then, of course, if people order online, they'll be receiving their items, order in person from the girl. The girl will be delivering those items in December. So just right about the right time for holiday gifts, hostess gifts, things like that. We do have some new products for 2016 that we're pretty excited about. On the order card, we have the honey roasted mixed nuts, which are actually in a 1 pound. It's a 16-ounce jar that is available on both the order card and online. And our honey mustard pretzel mix, which is a bagged product, will be available on the order card this year and in the online store. We just had it in our online store last year, and we're bringing it onto the order card this year, and it's a really nice mix. The Girl Scout Camp Pack tin is our Girl Scout collectible tin for this year. It has mint treasures in it and will be available both online and on the paper order card. The holiday tin, the dark chocolate mocha cups, and the new Girl Scout gift pack will be available in the online store. There's going to be other items available too there, but these are the brand new items for this year that customers might be interested in purchasing. The gift pack is sort of a new idea for the QSP online store, where there's 3 products: honey mustard pretzel mix, the almond cran orange crunch, butter toasted peanuts, whole cashews, and cranberry nut mix are all packaged within a cardboard gift box with that little printed bow on it. So it makes a nice gift for customers to ship directly to somebody around the holidays, or just to say thank you or say hello, whatever. So definitely some good options available both on the order card and in the online store. And I should point out that one of our PDFs, one-page PDFs online, and also a page within the QSP program guide, is a chart of all of the nut and candy options. It will list where you can get the item, whether it's online and on the order card or just online, and if the item is gluten-free or not. And we mentioned earlier that there are actually 20 items that are gluten-free. The gluten-free items, this will be designated both on the order card and actually on the label of the product this year as well. So I know that that's a concern for a lot of the girls' customers, and so they should be, have the information to be able to present it to them as far as if anyone's asking about which products are naturally gluten-free. So lots of different items that girls can sell, and it's important to note that they can reach out to their customers in person and online. Most products are available either way the girl chooses to reach out to her customer, either way the customer chooses to purchase from her. So Nuts and Candies magazines, photo keepsakes, all available both in person and online. Online, we do have an expanded selection. There are more nut and candy products. There are a couple more photo keepsake products. There are more magazines available online, just because that catalog can only be so big. And within the catalog, right towards the front of it, is actually a listing of the additional titles that customers can purchase online. So some expanded options online, but still lots available in person. And then the in-person items that the things that girls can only do in person are complete the address booklets and offer the share program to our customers. So definitely pros to both. Girls can participate both in person and online, or pick whichever one works best for them. They can market the QSP program to their customers in a variety of different ways. We'd really like for you to review these at your training so that people know, our troop leaders know really, that the girls do have different ways of selling these, and that they can pick really whichever works for them. So neighborhood sales and selling to family and friends are definitely 2 of the top ones. So generally, if girls know their neighbors well, they might go to them for their support, but definitely family and friends are always the first customers that come to mind for our girls, and let's be honest, are generally the ones who support them and never say no. So that's definitely a good place to start, but there are other ways for girls to ask customers for their support too. So marketing through emails and text, whether that's directly through our online program, the tools available through there, or if a girl just wants to let people know through email or text, just send a quick note and let customers know that she's participating in the QSP program and would they like to support her. Telephone sales, I know most of our girls if they have a phone, are texting on it, but girls can still pick up the phone, make a call and ask relatives for support. either, ask, hey, can I send you the link to my online store, or can take, the order down in person and have Grandma or Aunt Jody or whoever it is send them a check so they can take their order and then collect the payment from them at a later date. The online store is definitely a great option for girls. We talked before about how that's a place for a lot of growth in most of your service units, and we've got a few slides about that you can show to your troop. Workplace sales are great, whether it is a girl sending in her order card with a note about what her goal is and what her troop will be doing with her proceeds, or she can sell magazines any place that has a waiting room, or lots of companies purchase nuts or candy or snacks from other, larger vendors, to have at client meetings and things like that. And so if a girl is connected with a business in that way, she might be able to sell, cases or at least a couple items to a business who can use them, with their customers at different meetings. Social media marketing for our girls 13 and older can post on their own pages, or parents and guardians can get that information out there for our younger girls. Sometimes social media will reach some other people who maybe you don't see on a regular basis, but who might like to support a Girl Scout through this program. And then marketing via business cards. We do have business cards available through the QSP program. They're actually in the girls' packets, but the girls can also make business cards on their own. They're usually more creative than we are, so if they have a business card that they would like to use with their first name on it, their troop number, and just to let people know that they are participating in the QSP program, they're more than welcome to pass those out to their customers. Girls can sell through the catalog, so this is an in-person type of paper sale. The forms are located inside of their girl packets, and they're no different than last year. It is really important that the girls fill out these forms completely, or have their customer fill out the form completely. They are in triplicate, so the customer will keep the pink copy of the slip, and girls should collect the white and yellow copy and submit those to their QSP manager. If they are ordering a photo keepsake, because we use the same forms for that, they should receive a mailing with the code to go online and create that photo keepsake within 2 to 3 weeks, and then customers should receive their magazines about 8 to 10 weeks from when they order the product, kind of depending on when the magazine comes out. So some magazines are only published quarterly, or they come out every other month, so sometimes depending on where you are in the cycle, when this form reaches the publisher, it can sometimes seem like it's taking just a little bit longer. But if anybody has questions about their magazine, customers can call the 1-800 number that's on the pink copy of their slip for customer service, or any member of the product sales team is happy to contact customer service. As QSP managers, you guys also have a magnet with that number on it, so you can call for anybody as well, or share that number with anyone who's looking to contact customer service. Address booklets are inside of the girls' packets. Girls can complete these. If they complete 8 unique postcards with unique names and addresses on it, they will receive a patch as well as $2 in troop proceeds. We do ask that the girls do personalize the postcard, so when their customers reach it, it's kind of special, a nice note from the girl. And these are really designed for people who the girl doesn't see during the QSP program, and who, someone who may not be, purchasing online or may not be computer savvy. So these are still a good option for girls to reach out, or especially for some of our troops who start quite late in the program, they might want to fill these out as well. I will say, though, if a girl knows that she got a sale last year from a customer who was contacted via the address booklet, that she might want to try to reach out to that customer during the program this year, so that she can take his or her order and then receive the 15% in proceeds for her troop off of that order. Just a little bit better for the troop, and the customer will actually get to place their order sooner in the year, and then we'll be able to get their magazine more quickly. I should note on magazines, just back up for just a second, that customers can renew a magazine subscription, or they can purchase a new one. And if they renew, then the subscription, whatever subscription they're buying, will just be tacked on to what they're receiving now. So if they're in the middle of, let's say, a 2-year subscription of Time magazine, just as an example, and they want to purchase another year, that's great. That year will start after their 2-year subscription has ended. So it just gets tacked on to the end of it. So the customer doesn't lose out on anything. They just get to keep getting their magazine longer without any interruption. This is a copy of our paper nut and candy order card that's inside of each of the girls' packets. You'll see it has our 16 items on it, our new items being the honey mustard pretzel mix, the tin, and the honey roasted mixed nuts as well. You'll also see on the very bottom of the form that there's a yellow box for the share program, and that's where girls can record their donations. So we are working again with the American Red Cross Connecticut chapter as our recipient in the share program. So in place of maybe someone who doesn't want to purchase, nuts and candies, or if they've already made a purchase and they would like to make a donation as well, customers can donate in $5 increments. And for every $5 that the girl collects for us the share program, we're able to donate 1 can of honey roasted peanuts to the American Red Cross. They use these mostly in their military and military family support programs, but also in any type of disaster relief setting if needed. So we wanted to draw a little bit more attention to the share program this year, so the girls will still be receiving a patch if they sell 2 or more items through the program, but we're introducing a recognition as well. So girls who actually sell 5 or more of the honey roasted peanuts for this program will receive a collapsible water bottle with carabiner. We're just trying to draw some more attention and get the girls a little bit more involved in the program. I can tell you that the American Red Cross really loves partnering with us on this, and so we would really like to increase the number of items that we're able to give to them and to get more of our customers thinking about how they can help in their own communities when they support a girl through the QSP program. So definitely a win-win for everyone, and you as QSP managers have a sample of both the share pass and the collapsible water bottle with carabiner within your recognition samples. The online program, definitely lots of options on here, over 600 magazines, more photo keepsake options, also magazine gift cards are available, and then the nut and candy store. And the important thing here is that all the items purchased online in the nut and candy store are shipped directly to the customer. There is a shipping fee that they will see before they finalize their purchase, so no surprises or anything like that. And the items are shipped within 72 hours of ordering. So if a customer orders peanut butter bears or pecan clusters or whatever it is in the very beginning of October, they're going to have those items in the next couple of days. So if a customer is really looking for items very quickly and doesn't want to wait until December for their favorites, definitely shopping online is a good way for them to go. If they're looking for more variety, they can find it online as well. So definitely a good thing to try, a good place for growth for your girls in the service unit. And really we would just encourage the girls to log on there and just check it out. We're going to talk a little bit more about the My Creation patch in a bit, but there's some fun things for the girls to do on the website beyond contacting their customers, so we would encourage everybody to try it out. So getting started in the online program this year is a little bit different. So girls who are actually registered with Girl Scouts of Connecticut an email address in our system by the end of September, are going to be receiving an email directly from QSP with a link to participate in the online program. So girls will get an email in the inbox, whatever adult email address was used for their registration, and it will invite them to participate. We'll have the link in there. If a girl doesn't receive an email, that's okay. She can still go onto our website as she has, as anyone has been able to in the past, and click on this green QSP online icon up in the corner here where the koala is, and she can get started in the program. We are going to have a step-by-step video available for girls and their families, one about registering and getting started in the online program, and another one about how to go about contacting customers and sort of what they can see and tracking their sales as they go through the program as well. So definitely a cool tool. 2 different ways this year. Again, whether a girl goes in through an email invitation or through the online store doesn't really make a difference. She can still get into her store and start contacting her customers on October 1st. Just a few notes here that you can share with your troop QSP volunteers that girls can personalize their store. They can add a picture, whether it's a selfie or just a regular photo of themselves. They can also upload a video. The girl can do that, or a troop can make a video, and all the girls can use it on their site. Customers really like to see the site Personalize kind of makes them feel good. It makes them really want to support that girl when she takes the time to do that. Girls will also be able to put in what their goal is and let customers know how they're spending their proceeds. So lots of ways for her to make her online store really her own and to customize for what she wants her customers to see. So there's lots of different ways that girls can ask customers to access their online store. So we're going to talk about emails, the text and share program, business cards, and social media. So again, these are choices that the girl can make while she's participating in the online program. They really have control over their store and exactly how they want to use it. Sending emails to family and friends is the most common way that girls contact their customers through the online program. I think because it's very simple to do, and it also saves the contacts in there from year to year. So any contacts that were in there last year, the girl can actually use again. She can add in new contacts either by uploading from an address book or by manually entering in email addresses and then sending out a message to her customers. Girls who send 15 or more emails this year will earn the online patch. So definitely something to strive for. If a girl's sending emails, she should try to send 15 so that she can get that patch. The more emails a girl sends, the better chances that she has of receiving some sales and getting some customers to support her in her program. This is just a quick note so that you guys can see where the email is going to be coming from and what it's going to say. So I know a lot of times people are interested to know exactly what they should be looking for in their inbox. So this email address here that's highlighted, that's in blue and underlined, is where all the emails from the QSP program actually come from. So whether that's an email to girls and troop leaders at the beginning of the program, or it is an email to customers that's coming from a girl, it will be from that email address. And for customers, the subject line is the last bullet down here, an important message from that girl's name. So an important message from Sarah, if that's who the Girl Scout is. And the launch email will say, Girl Scout Fall Product Program. I know we call it the QSP program here in Connecticut, but this is a national program that's online here, and so they are calling it the Fall Product Program. So be on the lookout for an email in your own inbox, but also just if a Girl Scout herself emails you, this is what you'll be on the lookout for. We mentioned business cards on the marketing slide earlier. This is what the Spread the Word business cards look like, which are inside of the girl's packet. So once a girl registers in the online program, she's given an ID number. So she can either print her ID number, just write it out on the card, or if she's giving it to somebody that she knows very well, she can put her first name and last name on it. But again, we do take the girl's safety very seriously, so we do, try to keep these cards kind of close, but just sort of a way for girls to experience passing out their card and getting customers to head into that online store. We know that girls in Connecticut are passing out these cards because 12% of the sales last year that came in from the online store were generated by girls who used the business card and customers going in. It's also nice that girls can pass them out, so if they're talking with a customer, maybe they can't purchase right at that second, she can give them her business card and they can go back and purchase online whenever it's convenient for her. She can also print out more of these cards, the girl and her parent or guardian, from the online program directly when she's actually on the website. There's a link to do that as well. And just a reminder, like I said earlier, if a girl would like to use her own business card that she designed, she absolutely can. She's just going to want to make sure that she includes the girlscouts.qspgao.com website so her customers know where to go, as well as the council code that's on the Spread the Word business card inside of her packet. Text and Share was a new program, a new option in the online program last year. A parent or guardian or an older girl, if she has a cell phone, can enter in her phone number, and the online program will send her a message that includes a link to her personalized online store. And so she can actually copy and paste that into a text to her family and friends. They can click that link and it will bring them right into the store, and they'll be able to support the girl right on their phone, make all their purchases. It's super easy and a great way for girls to contact everybody in their network. And then just a few notes on Facebook, Twitter, other social media, a great way to get the word out and let family, friends mom or dad's coworkers, anyone know that she's participating in the program, and her link can be copied onto Facebook or in a tweet as well. There are some new progress reports and some updates to the online program. So both the troop leader or troop QSP manager who registers in the online program and the girls will be receiving some progress reports. So this will help the troop leader to know, which girls actually are selling in the online program, what her sales are, and a girl will receive a report as well, so she can see how close she is to her goal. So just a neat tool to use for tracking purposes and to keep our troop QSP managers and our girls engaged. If somebody wants to opt out of receiving these, they can, but we think it will be a nice tool to be used throughout the program. Some updates to the troop dashboard were in the works and are actually all set and ready to go as soon as we go live on October 1. One of the things that is new this year is that the troop QSP manager can communicate, not only track, but also communicate with the girls via the online program. So if there's a lot of girls in there, she can post a message, encouraging them, throughout. And they can also highlight a take action project. So if the girls know that they're going to be using their proceeds for a certain project in their community, they can highlight that there and sort of make a little note, and then any customer who's purchasing from a girl in this troop will see that take action project and can see what the girls are actually doing with their proceeds. And the troop QSP manager can sort of toggle between the troop view and then her own Girl Scouts view as well. So she doesn't need to log in and out of the system or anything like that. She can see everything there and really take advantage of the dashboard and track and use it, sort of customized to her own needs. So I know that for some troop QSP managers, this will be super helpful. For others, they may just, contact the girls via email and sort of check in on them that way. That's perfectly fine. We just want to offer to our troop QSP managers and leaders as many tools as possible. That's just a view of sort of what the troop sales part of the dashboard looks like. So they can see what portion of the sales the girls have are for nuts and candy, what's for online magazines, and sort of what the total sale is for their troop. So again, a neat tool for them to take a look at. Within the online program, we're excited that the My Creation patch program is back. So any girl who goes into the online program can make a customized patch. So last year it was a giraffe, you might remember. This year it's a koala. So she can go in there, play around with her background, play around with the design of her koala. Once a girl actually reaches $150 in online total sales, she can order a patch with her koala on it, and it will be printed and mailed to her directly. So just like last year, an email will be sent to whatever email address is registered in the online program. They just need to fill out the form that's within that email, telling form to include the mailing address so that QSP knows where to send the patch and then send that information to QSP. So a very simple process, and the girls just need to order their patch by June 30th. I will say what's new for this year is that girls, as they move along in the online program, can unlock more accessories for their koala. So they have a lot to choose from in the beginning, but then once they send 15 emails, they'll get some more. If they add a photo, they'll get some more. So just a cool way for them to stay excited, and they can really update their koala at any time during the program. So as they go forward, they'll have some additional options to play around there. The other new thing that's down at the bottom of this slide is that troop QSP managers, if they're registered within the online program, can also make a koala at any point. So you guys can design yours as well. And if the troop reaches at least $300 in online sales, then they can earn the patch as well. So I do want to stress that for both girls and for troop leaders and troop QSP managers, the patch is for online sales only. So it would just be any nuts and candies, photo keepsakes, or magazines that are purchased online would count towards this cool recognition. So we saw a lot of giraffe patches come through last year, and we're hoping that we'll see a lot of cute koala patches this year. It's just on the girls' uniforms when they're out and about, and some of them, kind of make the animal to look like themselves. Some of them make it totally different, but definitely whatever the girl, and I guess whatever you guys as volunteers want to do this time around is perfectly fine. Our troop recognition is back. We actually have the My Creation patch koalas on the t-shirt, and the t-shirts are for troops with a per girl selling average of $150 or more. So when at the end of the program, there is a form, a troop recognition form that the leader can fill out, and she will see, I've got 4 girls selling. Do they, average out $150 per girl? So Nutty cannot calculate this recognition, so it's really important that our troops fill out this T-shirt form and include the sizes for the girls as well, so that we know what to order. The T-shirts are also just for girls who are participating in the program with actual sales. So if there's 8 girls in the troop, but only 7 are participating in QSP, then those 7 girls, if they meet the average requirement, will be receiving those T-shirts. And again, 2 volunteers like last year can also earn the shirt, so you guys can wear them all together and be recognizable when you're out and about. So we hope that you guys like the T-shirt. The design is a little bit different this year, and we think the girls will like it as well. This is a review of the girl recognitions. These are actually on the back of the Nut and Candy order card like they usually are. We have a lot of choices this year. There's only 1 level actually without a choice. So it will be important to have your troop managers let the girls know that they should circle whichever recognition that they would like so that they can select it in Nutty. Once again, Nutty will default to the first recognition that's listed on the order card. So if a girl, for example, at the $75, right now it's the default in Nutty is for her to receive the bracelets. All the Troop QSP Manager needs to do is click on the scented erasers if that's what the girl would like instead, and then save all of her changes. As Service Unit QSP Managers, you guys are receiving a sample of all the patches as well as the collapsible water bottle. You're receiving the bracelets, the scented erasers, the small koala, the Dream Death set, and the infinity scarf to show your troops. Your product sales manager has a full set of recognitions, and if you would like us to bring those out to you at a troop training, or if you'd like to pick them up from us, we're happy to lend those out to you. I will say that with your set, though, we would encourage you to allow troop QSP managers or troop leaders to pick those up from you and show them to the girls at their own troop meetings when they discuss the QSP program. So please make those available to your troops. We don't ask for those recognitions back. We don't give them, to a girl for a recognition. So definitely take the koala out of the packaging, let the girls see it and hold it, and get them, excited about the program. A few quick notes on Nutty. We will have Nutty open and ready to go on October 1st. We're actually going to be uploading some information from those girls who are registered and have an email address available to us through our membership database. We're going to be uploading them into the online program like we mentioned earlier, and also into Nutty. So when a troop leader or troop QSP manager logs in, or when you guys log in, you might see some girls listed under the troops in your service unit. That's fine. Troops will still be able to add girls in there as well, but we'll get you started with some girls already in there. The Nutty instructions are going to be available in September. They're actually not inside of the QSP program guide this time around, just because we are still finessing the communication between the online program and Nutty, and we want to make sure that we have the most thorough and accurate instructions available for everybody. So we are going to be still working on those. We'll be emailing those out to you guys as Service Unit QSP managers. You can get those out to your troops in whatever way you generally communicate with them, and we'll also be emailing them out through Nutty. So similar to what you might recall through what we usually do with our eBuddy instructions, we'll be doing that with our Nutty instructions this time around. The important thing to know, though, is that any orders that come through the online program are going to be uploaded into Nutty as well. So I mentioned earlier that you guys don't need to collect any of those online sales reports, and you can let your troop leaders know that they don't need to collect those either. So what will happen is if a girl has an order in the online program that, maybe it comes in at 2 p.m., that night it will be uploaded, and the next day you should be able to see it in Nutty. So it's not 100% immediate, so you have to just remind them that it's, depending on when it comes in, it could take a couple hours. If for some reason somebody thinks they have an order that did not come through, you can contact your product sales manager. We'll check it out. Sometimes it's as simple as, the parent who went in and sort of registered their daughter through the online program, maybe reverse the troop number or miss the digit or something like that. Those types of things happen. It's just human error. We're going to be getting a report of anything that doesn't transmit correctly, and we'll be able to fix some of those, as we go along. But if anybody has any questions or things that something should be listed in Nutty and it's not, definitely reach out to your product sales manager and we'll get that corrected as soon as we can. The actual entering of orders will not look any different. So, you know, troops will still enter in the girl names the same way. They'll still enter in their paper orders the same way. They just won't need to worry about entering in the online orders at all. Troop leaders will also still use Nutty to order their troop recognitions, and they'll be using Nutty to record their payments to the council too. So no changes on any of that, just a little bit different information possibly for logging in, and then the transmitting of sales. So again, full instructions will be available shortly on the service unit level for all of you, and also on the troop level for your troop QSP managers and troop leaders. This is what your troops will need to do to finalize their sale. So they'll be handing in the white and yellow copies of catalog, magazine, and photo keepsake slips to you, their address booklets, their troop recognition forms, and their proof of payment to the council. So that's what you guys will be reviewing. We talked about that earlier. A few notes for you to review with your troops on finances. No surprises here. Our payment procedure has still remained the same. Girls are still collecting money up front from customers when they take their orders on the paper order card or on paper slips. Of course, any orders that come in online are through credit card and debit card, so girls don't need, and troops don't need to worry about dealing with any money when those types of purchases come through. We do still prefer that troops use online banking. Most of our troops are at this point, but we mentioned during your part of the presentation that we do have some deposit slips available as well. And just a quick note at the bottom to please think carefully. We still can't process overpayments of less than $10, so we just recommend that everybody pay the amount that's due. It's listed, it says amount due to council, it's listed right in Nutty, and we do hope that everybody keeps their troop proceeds up front. If we do have any large overpayments, we will be able to get funds back to the troops. It just takes a couple of weeks, so it's definitely best for our troops if they just pay the amount that's due and keep their proceeds within their troop account, you know, for use for future activities and adventures. A couple notes on delivery for your volunteers. Pretty much the point here is that they need to pick up the product from you on whatever date and time is assigned and sort out those products by family. We also ask sort of how they count with you when they pick up. We ask that they have whomever's picking up from that family to count up the products and then also sign. The best way to do that is to use the troop report in Nutty. Again, if anyone has questions about the report, it will be covered in detail in the Nutty instructions, but they can also reach out to you or to us for information on that as well. And that they should just remind girls to deliver those nuts and candies to their customers promptly. Again, a lot of people use these items as holiday gifts, so it's important, you know, to get them out early in the month of December so that people can bring them where they need to get to. And just a quick note to remind them that their recognitions will be coming afterwards. So, you know, when troop volunteers come to pick up their product, they shouldn't expect to have their recognitions because they take just a little bit longer to come in, but that you'll notify them once they are available. So again, at your troop training, you will probably have a mixture of experienced QSP managers and some newer QSP managers. We don't want anyone to be nervous or concerned, so we'd like to leave them with just four steps that they need to think about when they walk out the door of your training. So the first is to go through their materials, familiarize themselves, especially with the QSP program guide, hop on the website so they can see what information is available to them, and make sure that they have the correct number of items for the girls in their troop. I know that, you know, September is a time where a lot of registrations are coming in. People, you know, are mostly registering online at this point, but, you know, you're sort of tracking and people are trying to see who's coming back to their troop, who's new. So I know that that number can sometimes be a bit of a moving target, but we want to make sure that all of our troop QSP managers have everything that they need to present to their girls. Next, they're going to schedule their troop's QSP meeting. So if they're not the troop leader, they're going to want to speak with their troop leader and get that on the calendar. When possible, have families come, especially if, you know, it's kind of the girls are younger, or it's, you know, there might be an older troop but they're participating in QSP for the first time. We want to make sure that our families are involved and know what the girls are doing as well. Then they can log into Nutty beginning on October 1st, so they can familiarize themselves with that site. You know, they probably can they won't have any orders to enter at that point, but they can enter in their girl names and sort of play around with the system a little bit. They can't really break it, so nobody should feel nervous about going in there. That goes for you guys too. Just go and play around. If anything wacky happens, just let your product sales manager know. We'll take care of it. And finally, that our Troop QSP managers should feel comfortable contacting all of you, the service unit QSP managers, or they can contact us either at our generic email, which is productsales@gsofct.org, or they can contact our product sales manager directly. Our information is inside of the front cover of the QSP program guide, so they can get a hold of us by phone or by email, stop into the office, whatever works best for them. So that is actually the end of both your presentation and the troop training presentation. So we thank you. The slide is in there too for the troops, so you can thank them, your troop level volunteers, for all of their work in making this program a success. We hope that you guys have fun, and again, our email address is there should you need anything along the way. I thank you for listening to the presentation, and I wish you all luck, and let's make this the best QSP program ever. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good one.